Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Rise and Shine. This is part two of our four message series talking about rising and shining. As my mama said, rise and shine. If you can't shine, rise anyway. So let's talk a bit more about that. Hopefully, you were able to either tune in or catch last week's recording because we talked about what needs to happen for you to be willing to even take that brave step of choosing to get back up when you've fallen or when it feels like you've been struck down by life circumstances. And hopefully you have decided that you and your life are worth getting back up for. Now today I want to talk about a really, really important ability that we all have. It's an ability that I have, an ability that you have, an ability that we all have. And that is the fascinating ability to adapt. So, Charles Darwin is accredited with the concept of the survival of the fittest. It's from his book on the origin of species. And often people have translated that to mean, hey, the strongest survive. But that's actually not the concept he put forth. The concept he put forth is a little bit more like, and some have even credited these words to him, but these weren't directly from the book, they were translated from the book. But the idea was that it's not the strongest of the species that survives, it's not the most intelligent that survives, it is the one that is the most adaptable to change. Now, I'm not a big fan of referring to our bodies as machines, but sometimes the analogy fits. And what I happen to know about us as human beings, we are adaptation machines. Adaptation machines. If you challenge your joints through stretching, you become more flexible. If you challenge your brain, you become more intelligent. If you your ability to run, you get faster. If you challenge your muscles, you become physically stronger. And if you challenge your perseverance, your hope, your patience, your faith, much like this year has done, you get to choose to become mentally and emotionally stronger as well. See, it's not when things are smooth sailing and everything's working out exactly as we plan. That's not when we grow. That's not when we become stronger. It's when we're forced to come up against challenge and even, yes, discomfort. That's when we grow. That's when that adaptation response starts to kick in. And regardless of how you've experienced 2020 so far and the struggles you've had to endure, one thing is for sure. As we come out the other side of this, there is such a thing as post-traumatic stress, and there is such a thing as post-traumatic growth. No doubt this year has been painful, for all of us, likely. It has been painful in many ways for me, for my family. And if it's been painful for you too, then my message to you today is don't waste the pain. Don't waste the pain. You see, I see post-traumatic growth as an optional pathway. And it is a path that allows me to honor the pain. It allows me to honor whatever it is I've gone through, whatever the circumstances are. You got to remember that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So I figure if I can look at pain, look at the challenge, look at the difficulty, and consciously choose to ask some questions. Maybe, what can I learn from this? How can this potentially make me stronger? How could I perhaps see this differently? How can I be creative in ways that maybe I've never thought of? And then my favorite, no matter what challenge you've ever gone through, from the most day-to-day mundane stuck in traffic kind of challenge to the most traumatic loss of a loved one kind of challenge, what I promise you can come from a circumstance that challenges you in that way. You can come out the other side more loving and more compassionate. Not just stronger, but more loving and more compassionate. And I think that's valuable. I think that's really valuable. And I don't want us to lose sight of that. Once I have that kind of internal dialogue, then I can begin to move forward in a positive way. So I really want to invite you to do the same because pandemic or no pandemic, I promise you, you did not come to this life to just survive. You came here to thrive. You didn't come here to just get through the day or get through the year. You came here to find joy in every single day. Okay, I know some days are a lot harder than others, but we can choose. One of my favorite quotes is from Viktor Frankl from A Man's Search for Meaning, and it is, everything can be taken from a man. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms. So everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, and that is the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way, to be able to choose your attitude in any circumstances, to be able to choose your way. We get to choose our way here. So as we continue to navigate these uncharted waters and the challenges that are inevitably yet to come, don't waste the pain. Have a bit of grace for yourself. Take a few moments to step back, to turn the attention inward, to have a bit of an internal dialogue, some personal inquiry, to ask a few questions that might have you shift perspective and see things maybe a little bit differently so that you can move forward in a positive way, knowing that you'll come out the other side of whatever the challenge is that is specific to your circumstance, and you will have had post-traumatic growth. So the invitation is, don't just go through this, but of course, grow through this. We have the ability to do it because it's how we've been created. We have been created to be adaptation machines. And over the next 2 weeks, we are going to talk more specifically about how we can make use of that adaptation ability. It's not just a light switch. We have to take action on it. And that's going to come in the next couple of weeks. So I want to shift over to see who's with us. Oh, hi, Jonathan. Hi, Mary Rose. Hi, Georgette. Thanks for jumping on. Jonathan said, every day is the best day of my life. I say this to myself every morning. Jonathan, that is beautiful. I love it. Because why not? Because why not? And some may see it as, wearing rose-colored glasses. But when you look at the alternative, I'm a firm believer in there being three types. Often people have said there are pessimists and there are optimists. I've often been accused of being an optimist, and I'll take that. But I actually think there are three. I think that there are pessimists, like if you're stuck in a storm, a pessimist is going to say we're all going to die. The optimist is going to say, oh no, everything's going to be fine. The storm will pass, we'll be fine. Let's say you're on a boat. There's a third person in this world, I believe, and that's the realist. The realist says, we need to adjust the sails to get through the storm. And I like to think of myself as a realist because the realist sees things as they are, not worse than they are, but not better than they are, sees the reality of things as they are, but is looking around at the same time for solutions. And I bet when the realist realizes there's a sail that can be adjusted to navigate their way out of a storm, they're thankful for that sail. So be a realist. Be the one who says, okay, this is where we are. This is the reality that we're living in right now, but I'm going to look around for opportunities for growth, for ways to see things differently, for ways to be more creative, to become more loving, more compassionate. And I'm going to be thankful for the opportunities that present themselves along the way. I get it that there's been a lot of uncertainty this year, and there's still more looming. And when you're in a place of uncertainty, there is a tremendous human tendency to go to a place of fear because it's uncertain. I don't know what's going to happen. And so we find ourselves fearing for what might happen, that it might be bad. Well, what if you were to challenge yourself to think, what may happen could be good, because born out of uncertainty is also opportunity. And the only difference is which lens you choose to see it through the lens of fear. Oh no, this might happen, this bad thing might happen, this bad thing might happen. Or through the lens of possibility. This good thing might happen, this good thing might happen, this good thing might happen. And then opportunity presents itself because you're awake for it. You're looking for it. You're looking for solutions. You're looking for positive ways forward. So that is my encouragement for you today. Hi, Amanda. How you doing? That is my encouragement for you today. Thank you so much for jumping on. So part one, we have to decide. We have to decide that we and this life are worth getting up for. That's where we begin to rise, is just making the decision. That is the greatest power you have, is the power to choose. So making the choice, I'm going to get back up. And now today, talking about the amazing ability we have as adaptation machines, not just our physical bodies. Clearly, our physical bodies are designed to adapt, but mentally and emotionally, we are designed to adapt as well. And so as you continue to navigate 2020 and beyond, ask yourself those questions. How can I see this differently? Is there a way I can be creative? Is there an opportunity here? What can I learn from this? That's a big one. And how can I come through this not only a stronger, but a more loving and compassionate person? That's how you know you're going to experience not post-traumatic stress, but post-traumatic growth. And when you experience that for yourself, you can then help others do the same. And that is my hope, and that is my goal, is that I share this with you, and then you share this with someone else and someone else and someone else. And then we all, before we know it, are holding hands, lifting each other up. So don't just go through this, grow through this, and remember that you are not alone. We are all in this together, and we are going to come out the other side of this stronger, more loving, more compassionate, with opportunities we didn't even know were possible when all of this craziness started. So that's my message for today. I'll be back next week, where we're going to talk a bit about really the actions that we can take, making use of that adaptability. Adaptility, what the heck? Adaptability to take positive steps forward. And can't wait. So I look forward to seeing you next Sunday, or whenever you're able to catch it on YouTube or Facebook. It'll stay on my pages. Okay. So until our paths cross again next Sunday, if not before, just know that I am sending you much, much love. Take care.